team. It's me, your old friend Rich Rensland, host of Team Building Saves the World, the podcast where I've spoken with the leaders and innovators of the team building industry to find out what's so important about that industry, especially in the world of today. And today, my team, I've created a special gift for all of you, just to show you how much I appreciate the time we've spent together this season. So for you and, well, honestly, anyone who may come along after, because the internet is forever, I've combed through all of my unedited footage and created a small extras/blooper reel. So my team, settle back and enjoy the worst of Team Building Saves the World. All right, team. The way this works, before and after we've recorded for an episode, producer Melissa and I will have a chat with the guest for that episode. Usually the discussion is completely normal, but sometimes we do find nuggets of pure gold. For example, in the intro to this episode, you heard a bit of the pre-interview with friend of the show, Mary Erlane, before her episode, Embracing the Multi-Generational Workplace. Feel free, go back and listen to it again if you like. I'm not going to play it again here because I just don't think my feelings can take it. Now, team, we also have this next wonderful tidbit from Angela Lucier in the Speak Up Culture episode, where I asked her if she had any advice for a public speaker, performer, and voice actor like myself. Here's what she had to say.
So there's a guy named Jason Hewitt you might want to follow. He has this lizard tongue that he does. It's weird, but he has a really long tongue. So he gets up on stages in front of thousands of people and he does the lizard tongue and everyone laughs and everyone remembers it. And so he's known for it. And he goes and he does entertaining keynotes. And so he's not always providing lots of valuable content in terms of how to be a better leader, but he's entertaining people. So if that's the kind of keynote you want to give, you might want to figure out what's your little lizard tongue thing.
I'm so sad that's not on the podcast now because
no, that's totally in the blooper reel though. The lizard tongue.
the title of What's Your Lizard Tongue is definitely, I'm going to hashtag that now.
Yeah. He calls it your signature move. So you can
Hashtag what's
see
your
some of his
lizard tongue.
keynotes. Yeah.
All right.
Hashtag What's Your Lizard Tongue. In this next clip, Melissa and I are joined by Alexa Baggio and Saul Luckner from the Perks of Employee Benefits episode, who not only had a lot of comments regarding my speed round, but also introduced us to a very special guest who we didn't know had been listening in the whole time. Well done, my friends.
Can't wait till Joy to see her when she's older. I am your favorite kid.
Now I'm still thinking about what I want to do on a rainy day. I'm like, it is a rainy day, but I'm working. Like, I don't. That was like an oddly hard question, right?
Every now and then, some of the questions that he asked during speed round, it's oddly stumping. It's like, I never even thought of that.
Like, I haven't thought about my favorite athlete since I was like 11.
One question I did want to ask, which I didn't get to ask during that, what lives in that monstrous cage behind you, Alexa?
The blue staffy that is sleeping right here.
Okay.
Oh, puppy.
She doesn't live there. She just stays there when we're gone.
Okay.
Come here, Pepper. Do you want to say hello? She's like, why are you waking me up?
Oh.
This is what lives there.
Beautiful. Look.
Thea.
Yeah, this is Gia. She's very sleepy.
Hello. And I do love them fur babies. Oh, also apologies to all of you out there whose Alexas constantly perk up every time you hear that lovely lady's name. Anyway, I'm going to be honest with you here, team. As you've already heard in some of these clips, this blooper reel has been the plan all along during the season. Thankfully, People's Equipment gave us plenty of fodder, as we learned in the aftermath of the very first episode of the season, Behind the Curtain, with Deb Brunette, Kevin Pertusiello, Samantha Goldstein, and Paul Giroux. This is much more of what we were looking for. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, good. That was helpful, so I didn't step on toes or
No, you were
for
great.
Paul.
Especially that point where you just left entirely.
No, yeah, that was my my internet flipping out. Isn't that helpful?
There was
How do I signal Rich that this is about to happen?
There was a brief moment where I'm like, is that just because, did she turn her camera off? Because I have it set not to see anybody with it.
No, I was like, shoot, this is like the worst. But I was like, hopefully he can just edit it out. So it's fine.
Yeah,
Then
no,
Melissa messaged me. She's like, it's going to be fine.
I'm going to actually create my own.
Real?
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll
Deb
either be
disappearing.
that or Sam deciding to walk around her office.
No,
my
Sam's
camera's
It was such a
Time.
situation.
That's the
I have got
way.
this new camera that now I need to fix.
So Melissa, you can't hear this like wood chipper out my window, right?
Oh, no, we could.
There's always wood chippers outside my window.
There was a brief moment where I was about to ask, who's being packed up and driven away?
Yeah, that would be me.
Sometimes the technical problems aren't so simple to edit around. Sometimes the technical problems can be serious enough to threaten the entire recording. Is Mr. Robert Glazer. Show him some love, my team. Rob, that applause is just a handful of people I keep trapped under my desk just to meet you. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Rich, I'm sorry. I'm having my volume keeps shutting itself down, and I can't figure out why.
You're sounding great to me, though.
It keeps going to 0.
Are you're not hearing me?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to log right back in because I think it's a bug.
Okay, no problem. We'll start again. It was so frustrating. I had just done a perfectly good introduction, and now I knew I had to completely redo it. Well, you'll see why. Well, that's a first.
That's odd.
That's a huge first.
Do you want to do the intro again
Yeah. We'll start
and start from
fresh.
scratch?
We'll start fresh.
Okay.
That way it'll give it time for him to see if his system is actually recovered.
I just admitted him.
Mm-hmm. Robert, can you hear us? Robert, can you hear me?
Okay, let me change my setting.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Cannot hear you. Hold on. Select the speaker.
The problems continue as Robert continues to check his equipment and see what his settings are. Check 1, 2. Check.
It is. Anytime I turn up the volume, it automatically turns it back down to 0. It's like it's forcing mute on.
Oh. And it's because you're not showing up on Zoom as muted.
Let's do leave computer audio.
Okay, reconnecting. Good. Any better? Can you hear us, Rob? Robert? Excuse me. You see, team, in the pre-interview, the guest had informed me about how he did not like being called Rob. And as the problems continued and my frustration grew, it was something I decided I would kind of use to my advantage. I can keep calling you Rob till I see your facial expression change. I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think he can either.
I think I'm going to have to try to restart the computer.
Okay, my friend. Go ahead.
So I'll be back in 1 second.
Do what you have to do.
This is odd.
Yes.
Switch the
testing. 1, 2, 3.
All right. I think we're back. Can you say something now?
Yep. Testing.
Right, we're good. I think my mute key was jammed down. The volume kept going to 0 every time I turned it up. It went to 0. So I don't know. Are you good? We can use that opening and we can jump right in. I don't know if.
No. Let me redo it again just to make sure. That way, while it's happening, if your system starts to shut down again.
And Rich Rose.
I'm right here. Are you okay?
You're good?
Yep. Now, if I had actually been listening and thinking, I would have realized Melissa had indicated there might be another problem. But by this point, Robert was hearing me. Melissa even started hearing me again. So I figured everything was safe. It was time to continue on. Until, of course, the inevitable happens.
We find the people that have been in negative experiences understand that it's not just about the money. People more money at them.
Sorry, Rob, I actually just had my own little problem. My internet decided it didn't like anything you were saying. Could you repeat that for me?
Yeah, I was saying that where did I lose you? Was it at
Fortunately, from this point on in the episode, all technology continued to work and function fine. And we managed to get in the can one of the better episodes of this season. But including my little technical error, I wound up editing out almost 15 full minutes of unusable recording from this episode. But I never hold anyone to blame for technical problems, and, well, let's face it, in all other ways, I am perfect. Yeah, okay. I make mistakes. I'm as human as the next podcast host. Like, for example, when we decided on the episode bringing your team together for the holidays with Alex Pett, Sharon Fisher, and David Goldstein, as any sharp-eared listeners can attest, the live read for this season has almost completely been for David's company, Team Bonding. Well, since this episode not only included David, but two of the Catalyst partners, we agreed that the live read should be for Catalyst Global, much like we did all through Season 1. Unfortunately, it had been quite a long time since I used that copy for that particular live read and couldn't find it on the day of recording. So here's what we had to do.
You know what we'll do, Melissa? I'm going to actually have a point in it, guys, because I can't find my paperwork right now for my Catalyst live read. I have it. I know where it is, but it's going to take me too much time to actually find it and dig it out.
Unless you want to skip it.
No.
Do you want to do placeholder, Rich?
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll just do a placeholder. We'll do the sound effects, and then we'll come right back and just start talking again. And
Sure,
then when
I think that's
when I
the best
finish,
way.
when I go and edit, I know I can actually just edit it all together seamlessly. Because doing this show, I have become a master of editing.
And here's what that covering sounds like.
Listen, guys, let me take a step away just for a real quick second. And this is where I'm going to insert a live read. And then I'll be coming back. And we're back with Alex, Sharon, and David.
I know. Flawless. My favorite part of that whole thing is the fact you can hear Alex starting to snicker in the background, but to her and all the guest credits, none of them actually started laughing out loud at me. It made for a much easier recording. And despite my little kerfuffle, that holiday episode is one of my all-time favorites from this season. Mostly because of the amount of edits I had to do throughout to make certain that no one got sued. Apparently, this is what happens when you bring this group of friends together and let them just talk and talk, as you'll see in this pre-episode clip.
It'll be quite an interesting conversation because I think our outlooks on Christmas I don't know whether they'll be different.
I'm a big believer in Halloween, too.
Okay, hold on. I can't see it. Pumpkin carving lights. Oh, yeah.
I honestly, the Canadians would never buy that out of fear that someone's going to cut their hand off and then they're going to be forever indebted to them. The English would, totally. They're all about giving their employees sharp knives.
Save it for the show. Alex, save it for the show.
Sorry, I forgot we're recording. Oh my God. I'm going to edit this afterwards.
It just all goes on the blooper reel.
Yep, there you go.
I'm going to get myself into trouble. I might just have to go mute for a bit.
Well, we're almost at the end of this blooper reel, team. I can't tell you how much fun I had throughout the past 2 seasons and how grateful I am for all that I've learned. Not only for the great guests, but also from the opportunity to play host and editor of this podcast. And speaking of editing, I scrubbed through the holiday episode one more time to create a special gift for all of you, my loyal team. You may all be aware that people often have unique quirks and tics when they speak. And as the editor for this podcast, it has been my job to root out all of those particular quirks. And the quirks that drive me craziest as an editor have to be the people's use of gulping for breath in the middle of a sentence, or lip and teeth smacking. So, as a gift to all of you, and to show how frustrating my job can really be, I've created the following. I hope you enjoy.
We're hoping.
That was 60 seconds of editing from one episode only. My thanks go out once again to Alex, Sharon, and David, whom I have renamed the Editing Nightmare Choir. And there you have it, team. The Blooper Extras episode of Team Building Saves the World. Thank you to all of my guests for being a part of this past season. And of course, special thanks to my team out there. If you enjoyed this podcast or just happened upon this episode by luck, you can find all of our episodes at teambonding.com/podcast, as well as on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also feel free to follow along on our social media by simply searching anywhere for Team Bond Podcast. And we hope to hear from you in the comments section. So, from me and all of us here at Team Building Saves the World, to all of you out there, never forget that if you're within the sound of my voice, you're on my team now, and I'm always going to be on yours. You have a great day, team, and we'll see you next time.
It's been said that you learn more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. So why not put your coworkers to play with the help of the team at Team Bonding? Team Bonding was founded over 20 years ago with one simple question. How can employees have a great time while fostering strong, authentic bonds between people who work together? Their catalog of innovative events includes scavenger hunts, Jeopardy, and much more. Each activity, whether live, virtual, or hybrid, maximizes the impact of team building with an accent on fun. Visit teambonding.com to schedule your event now. Team Bonding, when you want seriously fun results.